Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Nailah Abdullah. I'm a mental health therapist turned toxic relationship coach, and I work with women helping them to heal and move on beyond the traumatic experience of toxic and narcissistic relationships. So if that sounds like something you need, stick around and let's get into this topic. Today we're going to be talking about why do narcissists treat you so bad at the end of a relationship. You see, besides being a mental health professional and a toxic relationship coach, I was also in a narcissistic relationship for 10 years. 2 of those years were marriage. And I remember at the end of that relationship, we always had ups and downs, but at the end, that's where it got really, really bad. I remember that he was spending money that was supposed to be for bills. And he knew how important it was to me, and I thought to him too, to build our life, to build our empire, right? To build ourselves. We were young, in our mid to late 20s at that time. And yeah, he was squandering the money, buying it on things that was not important. He was not participating in the house. I mean, the bare minimum he would do is wash his own clothes, right? And I'm sure that was to make sure that he looked and smelled good for the people on the outside, because narcissists, one of their main objectives is their image, right? How they look to other people on the outside. But it was like two passing ships. It was like roommates. And things got really cold in the house. There was no affection. I really felt neglected. And at that time, I could not, and even though in my mental health background, I could not, even though I know the lingo for this experience, when you're in it, you don't really apply it to yourself. So I was not identifying it as neglect. But if you think about your own situation, you are emotionally neglected. You don't feel emotionally safe that this person loves and cares about you, right? They're doing things and they're living their own life, and they really don't have any consideration about how do you feel? Do you feel uplifted, right? Do you feel loved? Do you feel safe, right? And these are the things that I was starting to experience at the end of that relationship. So I know exactly what it feels like when you say, well, how can you become so cold, right? Maybe they were already cold before, but they become even more cold. So not only am I going to tell you why do narcissists treat you so bad at the end of the relationship, but of course, I'm not just here to talk about them, but I want you to walk away with what you need to start working on yourself so you can move and grow and heal beyond this experience. So I'm also going to give you some solutions on how to move forward, okay? But the first reason I want you to know about as why narcissists treat you so bad at the end of the relationship is because they feel now the mask can come off. I don't have to act anymore, right? I don't have to pretend, that I'm this great person and that I love you, because imagine going through your whole life and you are acting, you're pretending. That is exhausting. That is exhausting. I don't know about you, but that's why I'm so selective about the people that I hang around. And it's not that I may not like someone, but if I don't really feel a real connection with you, I'm not going to force myself to be around you, because I don't want to pretend that I'm having this great time that I'm not, right? I get exhausted easily. I always consider myself a little bit of an introvert, a little bit of an extrovert, because I can be very social and have a good time with people, but I also have the introverted side where I'm also okay by myself, right? And I'm not going to sacrifice my energy just to be around people, just for the sake of being around people, because I do feel easily drained and exhausted if I'm around energy that's not in alignment with me or negative, right? So imagine for them, they are going through their whole life pretending. They're pretending inside the home sometimes, definitely outside the home, right? To pretend as if they are this great person. They're very charismatic, trying to get people to like them. That's exhausting, right? So one of the reasons they treat you so bad at the end is because now they feel comfortable that they don't have to pretend anymore. And what are some of the reasons they may feel comfortable, right? To say, okay, I can pull down the mask now. They think you were trapped. They believe that I can show who I am now, because no matter what I do, she's not going to leave. I have her. Maybe they feel that they have you because you've been in the relationship for a long time, and they know that you cherish longevity. You're not someone that wants to bounce around from relationship to relationship. Maybe they feel that you're not going to leave because you are too embarrassed about what other people might think about you, right? So they're like, she's not going to go. In my case, we got married. He knew that I was never the type of woman that wanted to get married, divorced, married. Like, that's not how I want to live my life. And I moved out of state. I moved to another state to be with him. So he really felt, and I had no family and friends around. It was only him and his relatives. So I believe he really felt like, I got her now. I can really show myself. But that's one of the reasons they treat you so bad at the end. They feel like I don't have to act anymore. You know who I am, right? I don't have to pretend anymore. I can show who I am. Another reason that they treat you so bad at the end is to punish you. You say they see that you intend to leave, or maybe you have left already, and they want to get their last hit. Okay? If you know what I'm talking about when I say the last hit, you remember when we were kids and you're playing or fight playing with some friends or schoolmates, classmates, and you want to make sure that you get the last hit, right? I hit you, you hit me back, and whoever gets the last hit is the one that's happiest, right? Because you're like, I got the last hit, I won. That is how they think. And I know it sounds juvenile, but I intentionally use an example of when we were children, because narcissists or people with narcissistic traits, their mind, as intellectual as they may appear, as successful as they may appear, emotionally, they are like children, right? They're like toddlers even sometimes. So this is how they think. I want to get my last hit, okay? I want to break you and cause damage to make sure that when you leave, you are wounded, right? They want to leave you wounded, okay? They want to get their last hit and leave you wounded. Before you go, I'm gonna leave you something to remember. I want to punish you. How dare you try to leave me? How dare you try to set boundaries with me and tell me I can't talk to you this way and treat you this way and I need to do this that way and do better. How dare you? I'm entitled. I know it sounds crazy, but this is how they think. This is why it's so important. As you are hearing this, not only do you hear it, but you accept it, you apply it, first of all, to your particular situation, and you start to accept it that this is a real thing. This is really how people behave, because the longer you take to accept it, the longer you're going to stay in their web, okay? But they want to punish you. Do not think for a second because you had good moments, because there were moments where they loved on you and treated you good and helped you. Don't think for a minute that there's not a jealous, envious spirit inside of them that wants to punish you. They love to punish. They hold grudges forever. Okay? The nice times, the good times, that's an act. That's an act, and it's an investment, because they believe that if I am good to you here, I've invested into you now. So when I want to take from you, break you, manipulate you, disrespect you, you don't have the right to say anything, because I've already deposited that investment in you when I was being nice to you. Okay? But don't for a second think that these people are not trying to punish you. They feel entitled, that they have the right to mistreat you, to disrespect you. They have the right. That's how they think. So they want to punish you when you have the nerve to try to break away and live a happy, peaceful life. The third reason that they treat you so bad at the end of the relationship, they want to break your trust in mankind. I know this sounds a little deep, but the blessing, I thought it was an unfortunate experiences that I've had, but actually it's a blessing, because it now gives me a plethora of experience to be able to teach you as you're watching this. Not only have I been in a narcissistic romantic relationship, but I have had narcissistic people in my family. And when I was coming out of the romantic relationship and I was going through my healing journey, I also had to start learning how to understand the narcissistic and toxic people in my family. And what access I got from those experiences is I was able, as I was going through my healing journey, I was able to tap back into my memory about things that they said. You see, when people who have destructive personality types, toxic, narcissistic, sociopathic, whatever you choose to call them, when they go through moments where they feel safe to really say what they're thinking, even though they know it's diabolical. And some of the things that I heard from the romantic narcissistic relationship I had, I remember he had a friend that he went to school with, a girl, years ago, I think maybe elementary school. They remained friends. And we went to her wedding. And I don't remember if it was before the wedding or after the wedding, but he was gloating about how they had dated when they were kids or teens. And because of how he mistreated her, she then became hard and not trusting men anymore. And that same man that she was marrying at the wedding that we were at, he was bragging about how she told him how she cheated on him and how she didn't really care. She had no remorse about it. Now, I don't know this girl or woman from a can of paint. I don't know if this is who she was before or after being with the narcissistic person that I was with. But my point in telling this story is that he gloated. He gloated to know that this woman was damaged, she was broken, and she had become cold and heartless. They love to see when they can make other people like them. Now, they don't want you to treat them in the way they treated you, but they love to see that you go out into the world and you change who you are, that you're no longer the friendly, kind, loyal, trusting person that you are. And that is the key. That is what I teach my clients, whether it be in my program or individually. I teach you that, yes, there are parts of you that needs to change so that you don't end up in another toxic and narcissistic relationship, but you don't want to change all of who you are. You are a beautiful person. And yes, that beauty in you, that inner beauty in you, yes, it did attract them. But the parts of you that needs to change is not changing all of who you are. It's learning how to set boundaries. It's learning how to identify the areas in your life where maybe you feel desperate, that you ignore the red flags. It's learning to use discernment to say, this is who I am. Yes, I'm this kind person, I'm this loyal person, but I'm going to be selective with who I give this to. I'm not just going to throw it out there and give it to everyone because I'm kind. You need to be kind and wise. Okay? So that is one example. Another example I realize is just dealing with other people in my family as well. You know, they love to see when people become like them, even their own children. So if you're watching this and you have children with a narcissist, do not let society, friends, family make you feel guilty for removing that parent out of their life, because they also love to see their children follow in their footsteps. And it can be confusing sometimes because they might raise one child one way, especially the girls, but the boys, they love to see the boys turn out to be just like them, especially if they see that it's easy to manipulate that boy. Okay? So rescue your children. You're not a bad mother for removing that father, that narcissistic father, and if you're a male, narcissistic mother, out of the children's life, because their goal is only to destroy even their own children. But going back to the question that we are answering here today, why do narcissists treat you so bad at the end? That third reason is they want to break your trust in mankind. They never want to see that you move on and flourish in life. They never want to see that you move on and find a healthy relationship. If you want to piss off a narcissist, move on and live a happy, peaceful life and find real, genuine, happy, healthy love. They don't want to see that. So they figure, if I can't keep you, if I can't keep my claws in you, you now have the nerve to pick up and leave me. Then the next best thing is for me to break you so badly that you were destroyed for the rest of your life. You will never trust a man again. You will think all men are like this. You will be cold. You will be bitter. Yeah, you might date, but you're never going to have a healthy, wholesome relationship because I have damaged you so badly. They want to break you so badly that you cannot recover from it, and they want to break your trust in mankind. So let's talk about now. We talked enough about them. Let's talk about what can you do from here on out. Now that you have this knowledge, take it, absorb it, apply it to your situation. Now, what do we do? First of all, it's important to go no contact. Okay, what does no contact mean? Cutting off all contact, no phone calls, no text messaging, no following on social media, no messaging on social media, no emails, no popping up at each other's houses. Even as far, no triangulation. So don't send messages or hear what's going on with him through the friend, a mutual friend, a family member. You need to make it clear to everyone in your life. If you love me, this was a destructive relationship. I have to set clear boundaries. It's either me or them. Let me know. Yeah, it's tough. But if you really want to heal, if you don't want this right now at this recording, it's at the end of 2024. If you don't want this to be your story in 2025, you have to do some things that's going to be uncomfortable. So going no contact. If you have children together, going minimal contact. That means only discussing what is absolutely necessary. Getting law enforcement, getting the courts involved if they anytime try to make things difficult. And at some point they will, right? And of course it depends on the age of the child too. But if you can't go completely no contact, then you want to go minimal contact. You want to surround yourself with healthy people. This is a very challenging time. I compare it to when you're coming out of war, right? You are very fragile, right? This is a very traumatizing experience that you've been through. So if you feel those things, you feel broken, you feel confused, you feel stressed, you feel on edge, don't think something is wrong with you. You're coming out of the battlefield. These are not normal people. These are not normal breakups. So find healthy, not just people that love you, because some people who love you may cause more confusion. Oh, but he was good to you. Oh, but you've been together for so long. But God said you shouldn't have divorce. You got children together. People can love you, but sometimes lead you astray because they don't understand. If you have not been with these people, you have not interacted with these people, you're not going to understand them. And God bless them. I'm happy for them that they don't understand. But those are not the people that can really support you as you are trying to heal and not let this situation bog you down, because getting out of the relationship is just the tip of the iceberg. There are people who have been out of the relationship for years and they're still broken. They still, parts of their life, maybe they're functioning well at work and they're doing certain things, but there's parts of them that have not fully been able to heal so they can move on and live their best life. They still feel held back to some capacity. All right. So going no contact and finding the right support system to surround yourself with. All right. If you are in a space where you're in the relationship, you're trying to get out, you've already gotten out, but you feel broken, you feel scared, because sometimes we're like, I don't know how this is going to go. They might retaliate. You still have some feeling of, I don't want them to be mad at me. Maybe you have not been able to verbalize that, but that's normal when you've been connected to someone for so long, right? You don't want them to be angry, or maybe you've seen how they get angry. There's different reasons that makes you afraid to break away completely, right? So if you are in that space and you do want a healthy support system, not only from a professional, but someone who has been there personally, click the links in the description box below. There's different ways that I can support you. We have my program called the Relationship Detox, which is a great place to start. We have my community where I provide coaching and support in there called Thrive. And then we have one-on-one as well. And there might be some other things. So click the link, learn more to see, where I can support you. And if it's not with me, with someone else, but my goal for you here, my mission for this channel, for those of you that watch me here, is that you don't remain stuck. You don't remain confused. Okay. This does not have to be your story. Too many women are carrying on with their lives. Like I said, yes, function. It's like a functioning addict, right? They have a job, they have a home, they have a car, they're going about their life, but the drugs still have a hold on them. That is the same thing with these types of situations. So if you don't want that to be your case and you're looking for support, I'm here to support you. Click the link and I'll speak to you there. If you have any questions, my email is below as well. I'm on Instagram. You can DM me privately there as well. I hope this message served you. I hope it blesses you. You have a blessed day and I'll see you next time.